Hi, everybody. My name is Dr. Sam Byrne, and I'm speaking to you from my geodome in Tesuque, New Mexico. I want to take a few minutes and demonstrate the continuum dive that we're going to be doing for the first 2 weeks of this teleconference. So, the first thing that you want to do is you want to be sitting in a comfortable chair or back jack, and I want you to take a baseline of your breathing. And a couple of things to pay attention to around the breathing would be the depth of the breathing, the rate of the breathing. Are you breathing upstairs, like in the lung area only, or are you able to have some of the exhalation go down into the diaphragm? So you take about 30 seconds and take an initial baseline of your breathing. Another thing I like to do is feel my body in the chair. That's another way to begin to connect to my breathing, how much of my body is contacting in the chair. And then I'm going to begin to have you do a combination of a sound, which I call a puffed O, which is nothing more than you're going to keep your lips pursed, so they're going to be touching. You're doing all your breathing in and out through the nose, and you inhale through the nose, and when you exhale, you're going to make a kind of an O sound, and you're going to puff your cheeks. So it looks like this. Very easy. You want to keep it the sound low as you do it. And then the second part of while you're exhaling and doing the puffed O, I want you to visualize something which we call in Continuum an involution. And basically it's a series of spirals. I'm going to show you a couple of pictures. There's one involution. Here's another involution. So basically with your mind's eye, you're going to start at your feet, and the beginning of the involution is going to actually be in your body, and then you're going to start tracing that involution with your mind, just visualizing it as it moves out of your foot and into the earth, maybe 6 inches to a foot into the earth. And then when you inhale again, you're going to do another puffed O while you're exhaling and visualize another involution. Now, the purpose of doing the involution is that it's going to awaken the spiral consciousness of the fluid in your body, and it also may reconnect you to the embryonic spiral, the embryo, which is a very potent space of energy to get into. So the way that I would like you to use the puffed O in the involution while you're sitting is you're going to start on your right foot, and you're going to do 1 or 2 involutions starting with the foot. Then you're going to start moving up the leg. So you might do an involution in the calf, then maybe behind the knee, and then up into the hamstring, into the hip, into the pelvis, across the pelvis, sacrum area, and then down the left leg. Could be the hip, the hamstring, the knee, the calf, and the foot. So each time you're exhaling, you're going to inhale through the nose. Every time you're exhaling, you're going to do a puffed O, and you're going to visualize this involution going from your body into the earth. So after you've done the legs, which is going to be very grounding for you, then you're going to start at your sacrum, and you're going to move up the spine. Again, doing the involutions. It could be into the chair, into the floor. You're going to go all the way up the spine, into the cervical spine, then up into the brain area. If you want to put an involution in the occipital cortex, visual cortex, that's the vision center. You can go into the cerebellum, the limbic brain, and then up into the prefrontal cortex. And then I'd like you to do a few involutions coming from each eye out. That's also very awakening for the eye tissue. So once you've done that sequence, then you're going to go into something which we call open attention. And this is a place where you can just kind of relax into the awareness of, well, how has the um, the puffed O's and the involutions affected my body tissue. And so you're just going to observe, you're going to notice, you're going to feel, you're going to sense. You may get a mental picture. You're going to spend a few minutes in that open attention, and then you're going to do the second part of the sequence. I'm going to teach you a new sound called the theta breath. And it's a TH sound, and I'm going to demonstrate the sound here. And here it is. Okay, now while you're doing that theta breath, you're going to take your fingers and you're actually going to start by your groin area on either side, and you're going to start doing figure eights. And I'm going to do them up here where my chest is, but you're just going to be crossing the midline, and your fingers are going to be on your body as you're doing the theta breath. So you start at the groin, you're going to go around the belly button, up into the stomach, abdomen area, up into the digestive area, the heart, cardiovascular, all the way up. So I'm going to start here, and you can kind of watch how I do it. So it may take you several theta breaths that go from the groins all the way up the midline, all the way up to the third eye. The theta breath is really good because it kind of opens up the tissue. It kind of spreads the tissue. So this is a major acupuncture meridian called the governing vessel, which is the yang meridian. It also is going to activate all the digestive area, cardiovascular, up into the lymph area here. So it's going to be very good to do that. And then once you get up here, I want you to take your fingers and you're going to spread the third eye, and then you're going to spread the eye tissue below the eyebrow. But you want to do a very light touch. It's very light, less than the weight of a nickel. So I'm going to do, once you get up here, I'm going to do this part, and you can watch how I spread the third eye and then go into the eye tissue itself. So once you do the third eye, the upper part of the eye, and the lower part of the eye, you're going to again go into open attention. And this is a major area up here of accumulation of tension and stress. And I'll tell you that when you do this, it's going to really open up this whole area and bring a lot more nutrient flow to the eye tissue. Okay, once you've done the theta breath, up the body, up the midline, and around the eyes, you're going to go into open attention in a couple minutes, 3 to 5 minutes maybe. And then I'm going to have you repeat the involutions with the puffed O's and the theta breath with going up the body and with the eyes. But now I want you to do it lying down on your back. So we're going to change the relationship to gravity. That's going to affect the vestibular system. And the vestibular system is very connected to the visual system. So you're going to go through that sequence again, lying down on the floor. And then if you have time, I'd like you to do the sequence one more time, layering it again. So you're going to actually do the sequence 3 times. And then at the end, you're going to go into the baseline for breathing. You're going to do a second baseline for breathing. And that's the continuum sequence. So I imagine that this is going to be very provocative. It could be very, very rejuvenating and nourishing. And I'll look forward to hearing from you on the call September 9th at 6 o'clock Mountain Time. If you're not able to get on the call, we'll have availability for you to get the audio either through the teleconference, and I will also be recording it and we will get it to you that way. So best of luck. If you have any questions, you can always email me at visionwellness@cybermesa.com, or we'll have time to do question and answer at the beginning of the teleconference phone call. We will be doing a Continuum dive during the conference, the teleconference, and I look forward to seeing all of you. Okay, enjoy.